Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Laugh Daily Podcast. We have a great episode for you guys today because we're here with one of our best buddies.
We got a special guest, Matt from Zealous. Matt, say hi.
Happy to be here. It's my first time on a podcast.
Ever, right?
Yeah, I've never been on a podcast before. And this is really fun because I can hear myself in the headphones.
How nervous are you?
I'd say like if I were to rate my pit sweat, you know what? I'm just kind of nervous.
Yeah, well, you are wearing a jacket. You guys can see that if you're watching a YouTube video right now.
But the jacket's coming off. That means it's time to start the episode.
Oh, yeah. We got some fun stuff planned. We're going to be interviewing Matt. And, of course, we got some fun games. And let's just start off with a mini game. We're going to be doing best sound effects impressions. That has been fun in the past few episodes. And we're going to involve Matt in it. Andrew, explain.
Somebody gives a prompt to one of these other people, and they have to do the sound effects that would make sense to whatever. Like that. That was a good one. You did that with your mouth?
No, that was actually a reel.
Woo.
Really? You brought Yoo-Hoo in here?
Well,
What, the Yoo-Hoo?
Seth is behind the camera. Do they know that? Do they know that Seth is behind the camera?
If they've been watching for a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a secret.
No, don't give it away.
Don't give him the Yoo-Hoo! The Yoo-Hoo has made it to the cameraman, so if there's any random zoom-ins to Timbuktu, you'll know why.
But I will start. I'm going to give you and you a sound effect you have to do, and I'm going to judge who does the best sound effect, okay? Sorry.
Sure.
And then I'm going to give you a sound effect,
Okay.
and you got to do the best impression for it.
And
all
then
right?
you guys rate it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll go around the table here.
All right.
Matt,
Yeah.
I want to hear a sound effect of a tourist running through the jungle, falls in a covered trap hole, and then gets carried away by a tribe.
All right.
Are you ready?
Let me back up.
Once the sound effect plays, do your sound effect, okay?
Oh, I have to wait.
Yep.
Okay,
Ready?
yeah. Oh, my legs, my bone. Ooga booga booga. Ooga booga. Ah! And then that's me getting tied up. They're roasting me alive. All right, and then that's where the video ends.
Wow. Oh, man. Andrew, what do you think?
I love the tribe. What area of the world is this tribe from?
It's like a futuristic tribe. So like if you think of
Like robots?
so like with like trying to plant trees and stuff, they're like artificial. So they had to like add the artificial tribes with it.
And you just went like full extreme tribe mode. These guys are cannibals.
Well, yeah, I mean,
They didn't even question. They said, boys, we're eating tonight.
Oh, man.
hey, I mean, can you blame them?
My only concern is you had to explain some of your sound effects.
Right. Well,
Oh, that's going to deduct some points.
Do you ever- do you
Minus
ever-
1 point for that.
have you ever seen Adventures in Odyssey?
Yes.
So it's like that.
Dude, the good old days adventures in Odyssey.
Yeah.
All right, that was good. Andrew? Or wait.
What?
Matt, give Andrew a sound effect. You want to hear
Okay.
from him.
Shoot. I want to hear a NASCAR race, except all the cars make horse noises. Like real
Okay.
horse noises.
Andrew's pretty good at horse sound effects.
I am.
This is the final
I
lap.
made you do a horse one last time.
That's true. You did. Okay, I'm ready.
Yep. Horse interaction with the driver.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to NAS Horse 500. Begin! Oh, it's going down. Come on, man. Come on, buddy.
Wait, what was the sound effect again? I just completely spaced.
It was a NASCAR race, except the cars make horse noise horse noise.
So there was a
So,
big
like,
crash.
You're right. There was a big crash, and sometimes in NASCAR that happens. You're gonna have cars that hit each other, hit the side rails. Like flames could happen. It can happen.
No, I have seen it.
You know, I'd say that was pretty realistic. I think when it comes to like the interaction, like I felt emotion. The guy was pretty mad that his horse got destroyed. So
Yeah.
I give that an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm not gonna rate it this time.
Dang, a non-rating.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
All right, I wrote this one down. Are you ready?
For me, yeah.
You are a Roman centurion about to face off against a chubby rabbit.
Wow. All right. Oh man.
Get back here! Watch out, trees!
I think.
That was incredible. Yeah. That was really good.
Hey, thanks. A couple questions.
Oh, I love questions.
So the bunny, I did notice, made a huh sound. So the bunny speaks English, but the Roman does not. Or
Well, is actually not an English word.
true.
So we don't know if he does speak English, but he
Okay.
does speak.
And speaks.
It's a pretty universal
Right.
language word.
What other questions do you have?
It sounded like an explosion at the end. Can you explain what happened?
So, being he is a Roman guy, they're in Greece and they're by a mountainside. Hey, hold off your more concerns or questions. They're by a mountainside and a big rock rolled down the hill and squashed one of the fellas.
So that was like just like an active god.
Yep.
And then the rock exploded. Like
You know when it
like
falls,
fire.
it like blew apart basically.
Due to
Wow.
gravity.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
It was still good. I'll probably give it like a 9.
Oh, thanks.
No, I really like that, except for the Roman and Greece thing, but we'll let that slide.
Oh, thanks. So, anyways, this was a fun little segment. But now we're going to go into another quick mini segment because we need your opinion, Matt, on cereal. And
Okay.
you, Andrew. All of us, actually.
All of us. We're gonna rate our top 5 cereals.
Okay. Who wants to start? Don't worry, guys. We're still here. Were you guys checking your volume? Like, oh man, the service is bad here.
Okay, this can stop. You begin.
Okay, I'll start. So when it comes to cereal, I feel like maybe even in food in general, I'm more on the picky side, particular side. So you guys think I'm going to name brand cereals, but I'm not. I'm not going that route.
Okay.
I like organic cereals. See, Andrew, I think he knew it was coming. So I love Nature's Path brand. And let me tell you why. Because when you think of like organic brands, even gluten-free brands, you're like, this is not going to be good. Clearly, Andrew hasn't tried it.
Oh, I've tried many of these. Trust me.
Oh, well, then you haven't tried this one. My favorite flavor is crunchy maple from Nature's Path.
Got it.
It's got the crunch. It's got the sweetness, the mapley flavor. Oh, bro, top of the list.
I'll have to agree. Are you doing top?
Whoa.
five?
That's a great top 5. You
Yeah, I
only
was
need
gonna
one.
How, is this going to
Well,
be
I'm
the whole
starting with
podcast?
one.
Okay, proceed. Is everyone gonna have like a long explanation?
No, I just had
Everyone's
to
gonna click off.
pre-explain because some people will be like Nature's Path.
So
what
you're
is that?
starting at 1 and then just getting worse from there.
But, no particular order, but
I didn't know that's how
that
top
one's at the
5s
top.
were.
Yeah, peanut butter chocolate balls, the chocolate crisps, crunchy maple,
And
and the healthy version of Lucky Charms.
Wait, that exists?
Oh, it exists.
No way.
Yeah.
that was great. Top 5. Thank
Yeah,
you for
thanks.
sharing.
Yeah, it took you a little while to catch on to that, but you took it and ran with it once you did. I'm proud of
I
you.
know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's hear you guys or your rebuttal to my top 5.
I would have to agree. I'm similar to Justin. I'm built different. Like Justin. but I like the organic cereals. Although, man, Crave is really good. Those chocolate filled ones.
Yeah,
Dude,
I've heard of that.
That is fire.
Uh-huh.
But when it comes to not wanting to feel like garbage after eating it, I'm going organic all the way. Blueberry clusters is definitely my favorite. I can't
Captain
resist.
Crunch or something?
No, I'm pretty sure that's Nature's Valley or something like that.
Huh.
It's like
I haven't had that one.
I don't look at the brands like you do, but
He just goes off colors.
right. No, I'm serious.
Whoa, blue! What the new pink one?
Unicorn.
Yeah, so pretty much I like any organic cereal that's not gonna like put me into a food coma afterwards, because I will literally for the viewers on YouTube, for those who are not on YouTube, I'm holding my hands about, I don't know, 1.5 feet apart. I will literally make a bowl about this big, and
So basically the whole box.
if not like half of it, if not the whole box, and just eat all of it because it's just so good.
Wow.
Like, it's so fast too. And almond milk, key. I do not have a top 5. I go by color.
So top color is blue.
What are
Top
your
color
top
is
5
blue.
colors?
Blue, definitely not green.
Green.
Blue, purple, cerulean, turquoise,
Carillion.
and it's like a different type of purple.
Yeah, come on. Everybody
lavender.
knows.
Never heard of that before.
Definitely lavender is the last of the top 5 colors for me when it comes to
So you're mainly
cereal.
blue and purple.
That side of the spectrum, yeah. That's what it sounds like.
maybe red. Yeah.
Great. Well, I would just like to say that I thought the fans would enjoy us discussing some classic cereal brands, and this went completely south.
Or north, depending on your perspective.
So, to start, I don't think I've had really a bowl of cereal in a long time. Like, we don't buy
What?
cereal. We usually
Why?
have like eggs and just like veggies for breakfast.
Oh,
But
that's nice.
I'm not going to disappoint you guys because I'm going to discuss classic brands. At the top of the list, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Ooh, I should have thrown that in there.
Nope,
No,
you
the,
can't.
the
That's
healthy
not
version of
organic.
Cinnamon Toast
You
Crunch.
can't. Not organic.
No, they have healthy version.
They do.
Next down. Why did I start at the top? I didn't want to do that. You made
got him.
me mess up my own list.
Wow, you did the same thing that you kind of roasted Justin
I
on.
know.
That's
let's
because
go.
he just brings out the worst in me.
Oh,
Cinnamon
or the
Toast
best, depending
Crunch.
on your perspective.
I think Captain Crunch could be a good second.
Mm.
Corn Pops, third. He's making fun of me behind camera, but Corn Pops are a great snack
I like corn pops.
that you can just snack on without milk. You can bring them camping. You open it up, some little bit of Corn Pops, and they're very, very good. They're
So
satisfying.
You can't do that with like every other cereal though.
You could, but like Corn Pops specifically is a good you just snack from the bag cereal.
All right. I haven't tried it. I won't knock it.
I haven't had Fruity Pebbles probably since I was like 5, so that's not necessarily on my list. This is a bonus one of me wants to try again sometime.
Wow. You guys got a bonus item from Andrew.
And then rounding out the bottom of my list, what other is there? Something with marshmallows, maybe.
Frosted mini wheats.
The
No. I'm gonna go with Frosted Flakes.
Okay.
Frosted flakes.
Wow.
They're great.
Mini flakes or mini wheats
Well-
are better in my opinion, but that's all right.
I would like to explain that I actually don't hardly ever eat cereal for breakfast.
Oh,
to me,
where did you get that idea from?
I don't know actually. Clearly, you know.
That was a joke.
All
right, keep going.
okay. Well, I eat it for dessert.
Oh,
Okay. So like
That's
are you
true.
Are you talking about
When
after
we-
dinner?
Yeah, after dinner.
yeah. When we lived in Denver as roommates, I might have ice cream. He would go with Cocoa Puffs.
Dang.
Dude, it's so good. I mean, I
Oh,
definitely
that
don't
is true.
categorize cereal as a breakfast item, so that's why it's dessert.
I don't know why they do either.
Mhm.
It is like donuts and other stuff.
Pure
It's like,
sugar.
Why
Fill
are we
your-
eating this for breakfast only?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's great.
There you go. Any final thoughts on the cereal?
I'll sometimes have it for dessert, but breakfast dessert. So like I'll have a smoothie,
Ah.
and then if it's in the house, dude.
Breakfast dessert.
Sometimes I'm kind of hungry. I gotta.
Oh, you're not sometimes hungry. You are always.
I'm always hungry. I'm trying to tone it down. I actually set up reminders on my phone.
Like, stop eating, please.
Yeah, dude. No, literally, because I've been like editing so much, like with the Zealous channel and stuff like that, which has been incredible. I've also gotten out of shape, I think.
Well, what a transition Matt talking about his own YouTube channel. We want to hear kind of you. Tell us about yourself. Maybe some people don't watch your channel or have never seen you before.
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself and then go into our friendship too, like how we all met and all that stuff.
Yeah. I guess why not start at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Justin and I and Andrew and I like don't really get along. I'm just kidding. But pretty much we all went to the same church. And the reason how that happened was there's like a merging. And when that happened, I met Andrew, and I'd seen like a couple different MoreJStu videos in the past, but not enough to like know exactly who he was. So he's kind of like a Z-list celebrity type of thing.
Zelius.
Yep, and I'm in his same position that he was a couple years ago now. So
Oh, okay.
I helped him grow up to where he is now at
I appreciate that a lot.
Y-list celebrity.
I got a lot of growing to do. That's exciting.
No, it's true. We all do. But anyway, getting serious though, like both went to the same church. I think we met and then we did like a collab, right?
Yeah, actually, your brother, he was saying, hey, have you checked out Matt's YouTube videos yet? And I hadn't because I was putting it off. I don't know why. But I was like, okay, I'll finally check it out. And when I watched them, I was like, dang, these are actually like top tier.
Dang, dude.
And what I thought was interesting too was you immediately, there's a lot of like kids and other people who come up immediately and be like, hey, can you just give me a shout out? Can we collab? Can you do this? You were like very different. You were just like, you're making content and you just maybe asked a question or two, but it was nothing along the lines of like, please just give me a shout out. I'll give you $5.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey. So then I brought that up to you. I was like, hey, we should collab.
Mm-hmm. Were you like 12 when we first met you, Matt? At church?
12.
Thanks, dude.
He's 16 now.
Got him.
Nah, he's almost 21.
Oh, yeah, 21 in almost exactly a month, actually. 5 days in a month.
Wow.
What are you doing, Seth?
Probably laughing because you checked your watch for what day it was.
Well, I have it on here.
He's like, well, it's 1:30. That would mean
about 25 hours.
For those of you not watching on YouTube, I just checked my watch. But so
to see when his birthday is.
Yeah. I have it written down. It's my wallpaper, so I can remember.
You got a reminder for that as well.
Yeah.
Reminder. Birthday is today.
Oh, right. It's my birthday. Yeah. But, oh my gosh. I remember when Andrew, you asked me to collab, I was like, I pulled up to your house and I was so nervous.
Oh, man.
I was like, oh, what am I going to do?
Wait, where was I? Because I wasn't there.
You might have been on a trip or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted to collab because you were out.
Because you were gone.
And what we did was we took the flamethrower that was used in the nacho challenge that you and Seth did because Andrew was out of town.
I was out of town at my house.
Right? Anyway, and we used that flamethrower, I think the exact one, and burned up your old Christmas tree.
Yep. And this was like in February. So my Christmas tree was crispy.
In his backyard.
In my backyard.
I don't know if that was
I was nervous too when you pulled up because I was scared we were going to burn our house down.
Yeah, I was nervous because I thought you would think I was going to be weird, but I guess that's a valid concern. But yeah, is that allowed? Did we do something that was like not allowed?
What do you mean?
Burning up a tree? Is that like against regulation?
No.
Okay.
It could have been.
Maybe if there was like some type of fire ban.
The fires
we didn't care about that back then.
The flames went about as high as Andrew's patio. It's pretty crazy, but anyway, it was all contained. It was all super safe. We had a bucket of water and a fire extinguisher.
Good job.
So, but my video actually got removed off of YouTube, which is super funny. I don't know why.
I think ours got demonetized as well. So
yeah,
don't burn up your Christmas tree.
Right. Merry Christmas to everyone, by the way. When is this going to be out? Like in a week?
This
weekend,
actually.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah. So Merry Christmas. Man,
yeah,
remember, Jesus is the reason for the season. I would not have met these guys if it weren't for Jesus because first of all, I was going to his church.
Oh, good point.
Shout out.
Shout out to my main man, Jesus. But also just how everything's been happening and orchestrated. It's just been incredible, and the Lord's favor has just totally been upon it. So as you're celebrating Christmas, remember that. But then just to fast forward, I don't know, we just did a couple things. Manic TV was a thing.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of people asking. We can't really go into it, but
it's not a thing anymore.
it's just not.
It's gone.
That's the. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Manic TV though. I think it's good to just say something about it. So a lot of people are asking. I can't go into the details of why it's not a thing anymore. But what I can say is that a lot of times we do face like unexpected challenges in life, and we can either look at them as a total burden or as something that can grow us. And that's exactly what Manic TV was. And the way that it ended was not how I expected it to end. But what I learned in the process of being able to do that has definitely been brought into the current circumstances, which the Lord has me in today. So just know when you're going through these challenges, man, it's for the growth of your perseverance, as it says in, is it Philippians? Or yeah. And it's for just your growth as a person for the things that the Lord has for you later. So just rejoice in that, man, and learn everything that you can from it. And that's all we'll say about Manic TV.
Really well point. I mean, we've never addressed that ever. And I don't think we ever will, besides just this conversation.
Because it was your channel. So I mean, that's on you. So
that's really good insight, though.
There you go. Yeah. Then there's a lot of different things. The first collab, Manic TV, and then just being able to travel together. I know that Andrew and I went to ClamorCon and then Vid Summit, and those are a couple different conferences just to learn how to do YouTube. And then all that learning and just being able to be around these guys who have just totally poured into my life. Like I couldn't be more thankful. I don't think for anyone besides like my family and probably just a few of my closest friends. These guys are up there with them just for everything that they've given me throughout that process. And that's another key too, is just get yourself around good people. The Lord did that for me. I know that when I met these guys, I wasn't in the best place, and they actually walked through that with me of being brought back to having the Lord as a priority. So I think that's the most important thing, though, is throughout this whole thing and getting all the way up to the MrBeast shout out, which actually Andrew, we'll get to that in a second, but Andrew actually ended up DMing Jimmy, MrBeast, to kind of help put my name out there, and he ended up seeing my content and liked it, and that was incredible. I think throughout just the whole entire process, it's exactly that. It's a process, and getting 2 million subscribers overnight, which if you don't know what happened, I was in a MrBeast video and he has 50 million subscribers, and he ended up giving me a shout out, and pretty much overnight the channel blew up from 50,000 subscribers to 2 million. It was a process to get there, Excuse me for choking on my own spit, but
I forgive you.
Bless you.
Thanks. But it was a process to get there, and these guys were a huge part of that process, and the people around me were a huge part of that process, and my family was. So I know this got a little deep, maybe more than a Laugh Daily podcast type vibe.
No,
but
we love it.
We open arms, welcome deep conversations.
Heck yeah, dude. But yeah, that's kind of where everything has led up to this shout out, is just having the right people around you and trusting the Lord to hear his voice, make the right turns from that voice, make the right decisions from that voice, and get around the right people, because you really do become who you hang out with. And I'm thankful to hang out with you guys.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
We're thankful for you too. And I think we should definitely talk about this MrBeast shout out and maybe some of the back end stuff that people maybe didn't see about.
Yeah, because I have some questions.
Oh, ask all the questions. It was a crazy time.
We'll start out because I saw Jimmy tweet this. He was doing like an application. He's like, I'm going to do a challenge with some small creators under 100K subscribers. And obviously, I was like, dude, Matt can kill it. I don't even know what the challenge is. He didn't say. I was like, I just know he's going to kill it. Mm-hmm. So all I did was just send it to you. I was like, hey, you should fill this out, right? And then I remember I was driving home from work, and Justin was like, he sent me a message saying, hey, you should DM Jimmy because you guys have exchanged DMs a few times. And I was like, I'll definitely do that. But if you look at our DMs, the last 10 messages I sent him, he didn't reply. So I was like, oh my gosh. I'll send it, but I don't know I don't think he's going to read it. I literally sent him the DM, and it wasn't even like 2 hours had gone by that he replied, and he was like, get me in contact with Matthew. I like his content. Like, I want him like in the challenge. And it was like, no way, dude.
Yeah.
And then my side of that, which is super funny, because obviously I didn't even know like how the details of how that transpired for you, Andrew. But I know what happened with me was after we left the content house, after kind of talking about it, and we actually prayed about it. After leaving the content house, I think was it the next day, or was it
either the next day? It was that night.
It was that night. Yeah. So it was Wednesday night, and I was in a Wednesday night church service, and I got this phone call from a random number, and I'm in church, like priorities. Am I right? So I hung up on the random number, and I was like, I know, right? Can we play that again? Cool. But I hung up on the random number, and then I put my phone down, and then I noticed on the screen that Andrew, all caps, is like, answer all random phone numbers. And then under it, I see a DM from Jimmy, MrBeast. And I'm like, my heart firstly sinks because I'm like, I just hung up on him. And then I'm like, there's no way this is real. So I checked the DM, and not gonna lie, dude, I kind of booked it out of the sanctuary. So I'm sorry, Lord. But yeah, I left the sanctuary, and he ended up, as I was leaving the sanctuary, he ended up calling again, and I was like, shoot, okay, answered it. And then I talked with him, and he pretty much said, hey, we're doing this challenge where we're gonna bring 4 YouTubers in under 100,000 subscribers, and whoever can keep their hand on my diamond play button for the longest wins. So pretty much the last person to take that hand off. And he was like, can you be out in North Carolina tomorrow? And I'm like, heck yeah, I can. Like, who would say no to that, you know?
Short notice right there.
I know, right? It was insane. His team was incredible. Just the way, like the organization. I don't think a lot of people really understand the amount of effort that goes into like those higher level projects, or even like the videos that you guys do. There's a lot of effort. Like JStu has a team, you know? I remember when we met, you guys didn't have a team. It was just you guys, and you guys would edit the videos, film, edit, thumbnail, upload, everything, social media. And now they have a team. They have someone running their social media. They have 2 editors who are awesome, Josh and Rick. You guys are the absolute best. I really appreciate you guys as just friends. And
editors.
Yeah. And then you got Seth behind the camera, who is chief music producer as well.
That's his official title.
Yep,
you just got a promotion because you were HR, and
well, now he's both. So
good.
Got to raise the pay grade.
More work, same pay. I love it.
But seriously,
Anyway.
this might shock a few people. Obviously not you guys, because you guys know. But I've heard that Jimmy has I think he's downsized since then, but that he has 70 employees working for him. When it comes to merch, when it comes to editing, I've heard he has 8 editors. It's crazy, the amount of work that goes into these YouTube projects. So I get there after Andrew gave me a quick shout out and literally secured the deal for me. Like, that was insane. Thank you, Lord. And then we get there. Do you want me to keep going? Like, do you have any questions? Just keep sending it.
Yeah, I mean,
I know Buddy's got some questions, so whenever you want to ask him,
whenever you're
jump
done
in.
like summarizing it, I'll give you a question.
All right, I'll summarize it very quickly, and we can go more in depth. I get there, meet the competitors, do the challenge. First guy gets out within 6 hours, and then it's me and 2 other people, and we are there for a total of about 36 hours. You're standing up, no sleep. They didn't include this in the. I know, save that for this next sentence. They did not include that in the video. They did not include this in the video, but I've not ever gone to the bathroom in front of 2 people before. But I had to take this box into the stall and go to the bathroom in front of my 2 other competitors, and they are
number 2, eh?
Yep, number 2.
Yikes.
They are total legends for letting me do that. Like,
that would have been so awkward.
Shout out to
if they
Isaiah,
didn't, would you
Adam.
have just pooped your pants, or would you have given up?
I would have gone the bucket route, because they also had a bucket that you could go in. But the pillar was on wheels, so the pillar with the play button on it was on wheels, so you could roll it around. And they agreed to let me use the restroom. So anyway, we all 3 ended up lasting 36 hours, and then in the last 10 minutes was when the other 2 people got out. And I can go more in depth about that whole process in a second if you guys want. But what are your thoughts so far?
I just think this whole journey has been crazy because we've been friends with Matt for the longest time. And at one point, he was working with us. He was filming our videos and editing them on JStuStudios. He wasn't really uploading on his channel. Kind of like on his channel, he's kind of going up and down a little bit. Like he'd upload and then he'd stop, he'd work for us and kind of focus there. But then he realized, oh man, I kind of want to pursue my own content. I kind of want to do my own thing.
We did make some really good videos, though.
Oh, really?
I
good
know
videos.
people constantly tell us that buying bananas video is their favorite video of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
And a lot of that is due to this man.
Yeah, because Matt's
didn't know
editing
that.
skills were top notch. And we're like, please edit for us.
Oh, dude.
But yeah, seeing that process of growth and then jumping on the MrBeast stuff and then blowing up, which is just crazy experience. But I was curious with all the ups and downs and getting the shout out, what has been the hardest part about getting such a big shout out and kind of like life change?
Dude, it's been like the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life. Like I'm not exaggerating. And I've done like, a few different hard things, and I've encountered some hard things, but this is definitely the hardest thing. And that's kind of why I started out with like the process, because it grows you. I think overall, in the beginning, it was all the voices, because I grew up as like a homeschool kid. Was homeschooled all my life, and I did other things to stay social and active. So I did taekwondo, and I had my own like video business, which exactly right, the chops and punches and kicks and stuff. But I think the hardest thing was just that influx of voices. I didn't really have to deal with a lot of like different opinions, in public school and stuff like that a lot of other people have to deal with and are able to deal with, and just getting that huge influx of, you should do this and you should do that, and getting these almost pulled apart in different directions, not only by the comments where people would say either, oh, he's just going to get this shout out and then fade out and not have engagement on his videos, or the people who would put out like the praise, like, oh, this guy's like really good and I can see him succeeding. Like I almost had to like shut out all of that for that period of time. I think if I did shut out all of that, it would have helped. But the main challenge was the people close to me. Everyone has amazing intentions, but with a circumstance like that, it's not something that happens pretty much to anyone that I can think of.
Like winning the lottery, basically.
Yeah, like it's seriously crazy. So, and I don't want to squander like the winnings,
And real quick, just to jump in,
Yeah.
because I don't think we clearly identified what you won. So you won the challenge,
Correct.
and Jimmy shouted out your channel and told all his subscribers and MrBeast to go subscribe to you.
Unbelievable.
So that, yeah, like you said, we did touch on it a little bit, but like literally, how many subscribers did you have before?
Yeah, so it was 50,000 subscribers that I had prior. Is that the right word?
Yeah. Prior to the shout out.
Yeah, prior to the shout out. I had 50,000 subscribers before, and then, man, I think within 15 minutes, I'd gone up to about 150,000. And then at the end of the 24 hours that he was like, get this guy to 1 million subscribers in 24 hours. That was the goal of the video.
Mm-hmm.
I had I had 1.8 million. And that was unbelievable. That was just seeing those numbers like attributed to my channel was like, oh my gosh, like this is insane. I knew I was heading towards that direction. At least that was the vision, but I had absolutely no clue that was going to happen that soon. And even if it was ever going to be that big. So
almost thinking about getting a shout out like that, I would never, like, I know you can't control that, but I almost would feel like I would never advise or even recommend that happening to anybody.
Nope. Not at
But
all.
like
Not at all.
the thing for you is you've been consistent throughout the years of doing YouTube, that you were, I feel like it was great that it happened to you. But like at the same time, being thrown into that such a pressure situation where you get all of these subscribers and now you have all this like stuff that comes with it, that's a lot to handle.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I think you have to handle it both before and after in a very specific way. Before you have to be like prepared for it. Not saying that I was completely prepared. And And not saying also that like it was a bad idea on Jimmy's part. It's been amazing so far, but it's definitely a tricky thing to get a hold of. It's like you're holding a tiger by the tail, you know?
Well, I mean, I'd say just to add on to that, it's almost better to elaborate more on my point that doing things over the long run consistently and growing to that point rather than going from point A to point Z.
Right. Point Z. but
I love point Z.
But that's actually, yeah, thank you for saying that. That brought back what I was going to say. It's like there were times where I thought like, man, because it did get super hard, like crazy hard. And it still is challenging, but like you can either look at it in a way where it's like, oh man, I wish that like I could have just, grown slowly, or you can look at it in a way where it's like, this is really accelerating my growth as a person. Not only like did it accelerate the growth of the channel, but so far, and I have so much more growing to do. Like it's incredible. Just to have my eyes open to the possibilities and how much I need to learn in order to really take hold of those. It's really accelerated like what I need to learn, in order to sustain it.
Yeah, so like although I would never want that to happen to anybody, Jesus is in control and allowed it to happen to you, so it was meant to be. So like you said, there was a lot to learn there.
Yep.
And he has a plan through that, so it's cool to
Totally.
watch.
Totally, it's so true.
Andrew, do you have a question for him?
Man, do you feel like now that it's kind of the hype is kind of winded down a little bit, that you're able to more focus on kind of like what you want to do, like content wise or direction?
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. Because obviously, like I was saying with those voices, people are saying, oh, don't be like a MrBeast copy, but you have to remember like this is MrBeast audience. And it's like, well, if I make content that doesn't connect with them, they're not going to stay. So when I would make that, it's a very fine line between connection and disconnection, because you don't want to copy and you don't want to stray away from the niche. But like you said, now that the hype's died down a bit and people have kind of settled in, the channel probably gets about 200,000 views on average for a video, which is amazing. And it's allowed me to kind of find the people who really want to see what I have to do, or what I have to offer, and like make content for that. And also, I think just the growing experience of learning how to make better content with more engaging storylines and stuff like that has allowed it to be suggested out to more people now. So it's almost like a boost in the algorithm, because I had the advisors to teach me how to maintain that boost, even a small amount of it. Now I'm learning how to get videos suggested to people who actually want to see the videos, and not even necessarily have to rely on all of the MrBeast audience that came over, even though I really, 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 really appreciate everyone who came over,
Yeah. And I did notice, like you mentioned that your videos are averaging about 200,000, but you did have one recently that pretty much hit that algorithm pretty well.
3 million?
3 million something now.
It's at 3.2. And
3.2. And I
Whoa.
did notice, I mean, it's cool because it's like you made that video, right? And it was just like a fun thing that you did. It was your idea.
Nothing to do with MrBeast.
And then I keep track of your subscribers too, because I think it's interesting. But I did notice like you gained probably 200, maybe 300,000 subscribers after that video was uploaded. So it just goes to show that your content and your video gained that many subscribers.
Yeah, I think since that video was uploaded, it's been about like 60 to 70,000, but that's still like huge, because after a shout out, with every video that you upload, people leave. And that's not like that's expected. I'm not blaming anyone for leaving, but they're not invested viewers,
They just came because they were told.
Right, exactly. So that is super cool. Like even just having that huge increase, and it's like it's saying 70,000 as if it's, compared to 200, 300,000, like as if that's not big. My channel before the shout out was 50,000 subscribers.
Yeah, so you like literally doubled your channel if you didn't have the shout out.
Right. And I was thinking about it, that because the video, how it was structured, that would have hit the algorithm regardless. Maybe not as hard.
Yeah.
But it would have hit it regardless. So you're so right. Like just being able to learn these things has been an absolute game changer,
You know what's crazy? I think it's easy for us as YouTubers. We've been doing this for so long to forget how big, like you said, you average 200,000 views a video. How many people that is? That's bigger than like an entire stadium.
That's huge.
Multiple stadiums, which is crazy. I mean, obviously we make our living off views. So the more views, the better it is, the more money we make. But like at the end of the day, that's 200,000 people seeing what you're doing, what you're creating. Even if like you guys at home don't have an audience for whatever you're doing, whether it's crafts, just being a parent, like even an audience of 15, 20 people is crazy. And something you say to that 15, 20 people can have a resounding effect on the world.
It's huge. It's huge. You know, what's super funny is I had this same conversation with someone else on kind of like a live video. It's similar to like a short podcast. So it's funny that we're talking about it now. But I was looking, just add a metaphor to it. I was at the gym and I was looking at this person and they were swimming in the pool. They're all the way on the other side of the pool. And when you look on the opposite side, you see the waves that just this one person is making, and they weren't even making big splashes. But like, you're so right. I don't think Generation Z or millennials or anyone really understands the amount of impact, especially Generation Z though, because they see these inflated numbers and they see, which aren't even inflated, but they're huge because everyone has access now, and they see these numbers and they're like, oh, well, I don't have the impact that they have, but it's true. Like, you actually do have the impact. It might be on a smaller scale, but you're working directly with people. We're across from a screen,
Yeah, scale is important. Like in an orchestra, you're going to have instruments that play the majority of the notes, but then you may have one instrument come in at the right time that plays just a certain amount of time, shorter than the rest. But because he came in at the right time, now that symphony was the greatest.
Yep.
But without that single instrument that didn't play his one note, it was like not as good as it could have been.
It's good.
What if you're that single instrument? You got to think of yourself that way.
Yeah.
You have that power.
And like, our generation and younger, we always just look at numbers, but we have to realize those numbers are human beings who can be affected by what we do.
Right.
Which is like unreal. And like, we just get so caught up in numbers when it's like, even having a one-on-one personal connection with, like, if me and you are having a conversation, that could be more impactful than like a video that gets 1 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so just not getting caught up in the numbers of life.
Right. Right. And even like pointing to that, like, what if you had the opportunity to talk to the next MrBeast and influence them, and then they went and influenced a bunch of people,
Nuts.
Yeah. So you're so right, Justin. Yeah.
So what would you say advice-wise? Because obviously everyone who's watching this doesn't want to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
There's people who want to be all sorts of different things. What advice would you have based on your experience for people who want to make it in life, be successful? What keys do you got?
Oh man, I'm only 20 years old, so I don't know everything by a long shot, a huge long shot.
But you do have some good experience.
I do. The Lord has given me some good experience, and I think because obviously when you encounter these hard times, it does give you experience and things to reflect on. And what I've reflected on is that, again, just going back to the process, it's literally all about the process. You don't always think when you're working in your job, or you're running your own business, or whatever you're doing, or even if you're doing homework, you don't always think that your work is going to get used. And this is talking about especially in like an organization type place, like a church. If you're doing like creative work, if you're reporting to a leader or something like that, you don't always think that your work is going to get used. And that's kind of how I felt about my work on YouTube before it was recognized by Jimmy. Was like, I'm going to try to make it the absolute best that I can make it. I'm going to make it with excellence. And I'm going to put, a lot of effort into this, and not just think about like, I'm going to put effort into this after I make it. It's like, you don't make it. You don't make those strides in the process of perhaps, being successful, whatever that means, unless you focus on that process, and the process is doing it with excellence, whether or not someone else sees it, because one day someone will see it. And it says in the Bible, it says, I was just reading this today, a man skilled in his work will not stand before obscure men. you got to be skilled in your work before, though. You got to be skilled in your work before you stand before kings and stuff like that. And I'd say in the entertainment space, in the YouTube space, MrBeast is definitely a king in this space. You know, if you look at it parallel to the Bible. So that, I think that'd be my main advice, is like constantly improve not only your craft, but yourself as a person, and just think, how can I make myself better, more like Christ today, you know?
That was great. I learned a lot from that. Just your little blurb there.
Yeah, really.
Let's get it.
Really good points. Because like what I was thinking when you were saying all that is like we all have different perspectives of making it. Like, so if your perspective of making it is like fame, like I feel like we need to have a correct evaluation of what really is making it in life.
Right. And why? What are your motives? Like, do you want to be happy, or do you just want these futile things?
Yeah. So I feel like being content is so key. And Paul talks about that too, being content with little, being content with a lot. Like he was in prison saying he's content and happy. I'm like, geez, that's the focus.
Fun fact, he was in the lowest level of the prison. So the one with all the sewage, like based on studies. So, yep. But yeah. And what's interesting I find about that verse where it says living, whether I've lived in plenty or in want, that Paul talks about, you can still have that vision for more, vision for improvement and growth while living in want. Like that's kind of how he says it. Like you don't necessarily have it yet, but you're content there with the vision of pushing forward towards that goal. But you're so right about contentment. Like if you're not content where you are, you're never going to be content with what you achieve. That's just how we as humans work. It's futile unless you can be content.
Yeah. I like how that can apply to like any profession, as we're talking about that. It's like whether you're trying to be just a teacher or you are trying to be a YouTuber, it's like these still apply to whatever you're trying to do.
And hear it from us guys. I mean, we have millions of subscribers combined, billions of views combined. We, maybe in your eyes, have made it. But at the end of the day, our subscribers, our views is not what makes us happy. It's not what makes us feel accomplished. I mean, Andrew and I, we're married. We have kids of our own. We have a family to go home to. Like we have a relationship with Jesus Christ. We have eternity waiting. Like those are the defining moments for me, I made it. So no matter what I do in this life, I'm going to do it with the best of my ability, be content, looking forward to the future that is promised to us who accept that invitation.
I have a quote from Cool Runnings.
Oh, man,
let's go.
What's coming?
If you haven't seen the movie, quick brief, the coach, he cheated during his Olympic run. He got his gold medals taken away.
I didn't know that.
And his teammate, the guy that he's coaching, he didn't know that either. And when he learned about that, he asked him, he was like, well, how, like, getting your gold medals taken away, like, why'd you do that? Like, they're taking away, like, this greatest thing. And he was like, well, if you're not enough without it, you'll never be enough with it.
Dang.
Good old movie quotes.
Who would have known a funny movie like that would have such a good quote?
That's good, though.
But it just fits right into what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
really
true.
good stuff. Well, any final do you have any questions for us, Matt? I
I
mean, you've known us for a while. You probably know everything, but
how do you guys stay in shape? I was talking about must-have
stay
snacks.
in shape.
What does that mean?
I mean, if you're eating so much, how do you keep the figure? Your whole brand is food.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm in shape. I mean, having kids, I'm like approaching dad bod more and more.
Oh no. Oh gosh.
I just try to keep it balanced. I'd say like stay active when you can. Don't like idolize being active, but like eat well. But if you don't eat well sometimes, that's okay. Just be balanced.
And I'd say like last question, just because I'm sure a lot of people are kind of wondering this too, based on like your whole life. And this is a big question, but like what's your main piece of advice to someone my age and perhaps a little younger? Because I know that's something that I have struggled with in the past and continue to struggle with and I'm challenged by, but I'm growing through it is just my like who I am, you know. And I think a lot of times people are like, oh, you know, what, like, who am I as a person? Like, what's my personality? You know, also, where do I find my identity? You know, I trying every single day just to find it more and more in Christ, and that's by spending time with him and in his word and stuff. But what would be your advice to someone my age or a little bit younger?
So my advice to somebody of your age, Matt, 20, first and foremost would be to prioritize and know where you are at your relationship with Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So what does your relationship right now look like with him? Do you know that you're saved? I feel like having a relationship with Jesus changes the entire direction of your life.
It does.
So if you don't have a relationship with Jesus, that will completely look different than your relationship with Jesus. Because I'm sure some of you listening even maybe don't have a relationship with Jesus. So getting right, knowing you are a sinner and that Jesus died on the cross for you and gives you the gift of eternal life if you turn from your sins and accept the invitation, changes your life. You think, maybe just thinking about that statement is kind of like, how would my life be changed because of it?
And I think I can explain why.
Oh, go for it.
So the reason why is practically, obviously, like supernaturally on that side, it's the Holy Spirit working in and through you, and you receive that when you have a relationship with Christ, a personal, intimate, dynamic relationship with Christ. But it really, when you're in the Word, when you're reading the Bible, and you're renewing your mind, it changes your whole value system. And like when your values are shifted like that, that's when your life changes, because you make your decisions based upon those values. That's the practical side of it, in my opinion.
That's the only advice I'd give is make your focus Jesus.
Yep.
I agree with everything you guys are saying. And to add on to that as well, just because you are a Christian or if you become a Christian doesn't mean that you are perfect or that you're not going to struggle with some of these same thoughts afterwards. Right. So with that in mind, like you're saying, someone your age, I think is great because you've got, you know, this part of your life that we have gone through, and that is when you're going from, you know, boyhood into manhood,
right?
Or if you're a girl and you're going from, you know, little ladies into women. And I think that's a transition that we all go through, and it is very important to have figures and people in your life that are older than you who can help you go through that. Because a big issue we have in our country is, you know, fathers or mothers that don't care about their kids and don't lead them through these changes. That's an issue for many things. But having the father figure or the mother figure, you need both, really. Even if you're a guy, like you need both. That's key. So the family dynamic, all that, that's a much deeper convo. But just the general advice of having somebody older than you who can help lead you into the next stage of your life of going from boyhood to manhood, or if you're a lady.
Yeah. I think that's brilliant, Andrew.
Yeah.
And just to add on a little extra credit there, read for yourself the Bible. Open the Bible. I mean, it's easy to go online, YouTube, and kind of watch other people talk about God, but I feel like the real heart work begins with you and the Word of God, because the Word of God is living and active, and that's how God can speak to us, is through His Word. If you don't know where to start in John, New Testament. That's what we recommend, or I recommend, and
it's the best.
Just focus. I mean, God will speak to you.
Yep. And it can get boring sometimes, but it's worth it. It's worth it because it does transform you. So.
And it takes work, like going to the gym. Sometimes I don't want to go to the gym. Sometimes it's hard to open and read, but
that doesn't mean that you shouldn't.
Yeah.
So, hey, well, you guys have been a huge, definitely mentor figure in my life, an older figure in my life. So I appreciate it. Not super older, like older brother, like kind of like older brother with like some back issues.
Yeah.
Maybe like
I mean, we are getting older, Andrew. I mean,
no, we're not.
I'm 27, dude.
I'm getting younger.
You're almost 30, man.
You don't look like it.
It's so weird.
Whoa. What?
Look how far we've come, dude. We're just getting old.
Dang it. Well, old people know more things.
So. We're getting wiser.
Right. Hey, just so we can end right on an hour. What's next?
Next is We got Christmas coming up. We're going to be taking a nice Christmas break,
Yep.
That is true. We're taking 2 weeks off.
which
Wow.
is fantastic. Everybody needs a break, so
Yep.
take your breaks. And
I'm learning that.
appreciate you guys listening. If you've made it this far, thanks for supporting us. That's it.
Yeah.
Make sure to laugh daily.
And subscribe to Zealous. Thanks for being
Matt.
a guest. Let us know if you want to see any other specific guests, because I did see some comments suggesting that we should bring you on. And I was like, that is such a good idea.
And
So,
if you want to see
thank you,
part
guys.
part two with Matt and Rick and Hyper, we can do
All at
big
once?
group chats
Oh,
here.
that would be fun.
What do you guys want to see? Let us know in the YouTube video comments. If you're listening, just
Caleb
Go to the
Cawthorn.
YouTube and leave a comment.
just start clapping for no reason, and we'll see ya
I want to see Caleb Cawthorn on the show.
Oh, Lev Daddy?
Lev Daddy.
Ooh.
on the next
Let's
episode.
text him.
Goodbye, everybody.